Hi everyone, welcome to the Dataholics YouTube channel. And in this video, we are going to discuss about a Metabase. It's actually a BI tool and it's very helpful and in demand right now. So I thought let's make a video on this and help audience to understand what is Metabase, how can we install it, how we can use it, to write SQL queries, how it is very helpful that even if you do not know SQL very much, but you have a basic sense of understanding of data and data analytics, how you can use Metabase to fulfill all your tasks, to create a good visualizations and to create a good dashboards at the end, right? So Metabase can do a lot actually. So we will see everything step by step in this video, starting from installation to using it, to creating a dashboard, to subscribing dashboard to the emails and everything, right? So I hope you like this video. Stay focused, keep your diary pen with you, make notes out of this video, and I would also suggest that keep following this video, right? Do follow the process along with me in the video, so that you can also install it and do the same things in your system and document your journey, and it will be really helpful for you in the longer run, right? Because I have seen a lot of job descriptions nowadays on LinkedIn, and many companies are using Metabase right now, right? I know some of the big giants. They are using actually Metabase for their business analyst roles and purposes. So I think that's a very helpful tool, right? So yeah, let's get started without wasting much of the time. So this is the official website of metabase.com, and here we can see that we can use Metabase in two steps, in two options actually. First, we can try it on cloud free. Try Metabase on cloud for free, and we can deploy it on open source. We will discuss it about while installation, right? So yeah, so this is the official website, and first I would suggest you to go to the documentation. So once I go to the documentation, they have everything, a very good crisp documentation right here. It's starting from installation steps to connecting to the different databases, how to create questions in Metabases, how to create dashboards in Metabase, how to do data modeling and everything, right? So first, if I show you the installation process, right? So they have given you step-by-step instructions how to install Metabase for you. I'll also demonstrate it in this video, so that's not an issue. Second option is for database, right? So see, as I said that Metabase is a BI tool. Of course, we need data to demonstrate some visualization and all. So there are multiple options, multiple database options which we can integrate here in Metabase. For example, we can create MySQL, PostgreSQL, Amazon Redshift, Snowflake, SQL Server, or many more to Metabase, so that we can get data from those sources into Metabase and do analysis onto that, right? And we will also see about that in the upcoming video. Then we have questions, dashboard and everything, which we are going to cover next, right? So I highly recommend to read this documentation wherever you are stuck. Then once I go to the resources section, you can see that here we have an option of learn, right? So they have also given some learning materials, I think, resources to learn actually. So it starts again from basics, right? Getting started, then how to create Metabase reports and everything, tour of Metabase platform. Then they have also told about data fundamentals, how to create questions. So this is how do we create questions. Without even knowing SQL queries, we can drag and drop tables, join them, and do lots of visualizations and get our data output. So we can also write SQL queries in Metabase, debugging a SQL query when there is any doubts or any errors, right? So lot can be done. Visualizing the data, building dashboards, and so we can do time series analysis, data modeling. All of these things can be done using Metabase. So I hope I again highly suggest and recommend, whenever you get time, try to come back to this, learn Metabase from here also, because official documentation are always the best sources, right? So I hope that's helpful. Now I will directly jump to the installation process. Let's see how do we install Metabase into our system and how to use it. So in this video, we are going to use cloud version, and cloud version is free for 14 days, right, as a trial, and after that it will charge us for something. But I think that 14 days with different email IDs, you can try different credit cards, you can try, and it's really helpful. And in fact, in 14 days also we can learn a lot. This tool is actually good. And yeah, so even if you know SQL, then also it's good. If you do not know SQL already, then also it's good, right? So let us jump to the installation part. Yeah. Now, as we have installed Metabase, so this is the first interface of Metabase, how Metabase looks like when we install it, right? And now here we have multiple options. Let us explore one by one. So this is the sidebar. To close it and to open it, these three horizontal lines. Then we have an option of home. So currently we are on the home page only. Then here we have an option of browse data. So once I click on it, here it will show all the databases which are connected to Metabase. For example, I have not connected any database as of now, so they are only showing sample database, right? So sample database is already present in the Metabase when you install it. So there are these are the different tables in sample database. So for example, if I show you orders table, so once I click on it, this is the sample database and the orders table. So these are the different columns and rows in the sample database table, right? So ID, user ID, product ID, subtotal, tax, total, discount given to each ID, user ID and everything, right? Quantity ordered in each order ID, I think. So this is basically orders data. The first column is order ID, the order placed by user ID, which product was ordered in that order ID, product ID, what was the subtotal of that order, tax applied, total value of the order, discount given on that order, when the order was created, the thing was ordered, how many quantity were ordered of the product in that order ID, right? So this is how the data looks like currently. And you can also click on this option, show editor, if you want to see the backend SQL queries. So this is the question, the question by which that order table was displayed actually. Right, so you can click on this preview also to see the orders table like this, right? We were able to see the same thing there also. Then if you want to see the SQL query also, then you can click on this option. Let me show you again, view the SQL. So this was the SQL query by which we were able to see that data orders table actually. We can copy that. We can use that anywhere in this Metabase, right? If you want to see the orders table inside sample database. So this is how the things are, and apart from that, right? So yeah, these are all the different tables. You can use any of them for your demonstration, for your learning experiences, any table. Okay, right. And then here is an option of add your own data. So if I want to add connect my Metabase with any database, for example SQL Server, PostgreSQL. We can see the options here: Amazon Athena, Redshift, BigQuery, Snowflake, PostgreSQL, Spark SQL, SQL Server. So we can connect with it. So for example, if I choose an option of SQL Server, so it will ask for a display name, then the host name, then the port name, database name, the database which I want to connect from SQL Server. For example, if I show you, this is my SQL Server, right? So these are the different databases in my SQL Server. So let's say I want to connect practice database into that. So I have to give the name of this database here, a database name, then database instance name, username, password. So I will create another dedicated video how to connect different databases, wherein I will try to practically show how to connect PostgreSQL, MySQL, 2-3 databases to get a good understanding. But as of now, yeah, this is the option present here, right? And okay, after this, let's jump back. Currently I do not want to add anything. We will see the demonstration using the sample data only, right? Then we have our analytics section. Then at the end we have personal selection, right? So in our analytics section, whatever dashboards, whatever queries which we have already created will be shown here like this. So this is a dashboard. You can see the symbol also, and this symbol is a visualization graphical symbol, right? So I have created a graph in this sample query 130624, and this is a dashboard, right? We will explore it how to do that. And then there is a personal collection. So in my personal collection, I can do anything. Like for example, if I'm working on a project and I do not want to share my dashboards, queries, graphs with others, so I can put them into my personal collection. That will be limited to me only. Others will not have access to that. And if I want to share it with others also, we have to move it to a different collection, different folder. Okay, what I mean by that is, so see, once I come to the top right, we can see an option of plus new. Once I click on it, we can create multiple collections. So as of now, as an admin, I can create multiple collections, right? Let's say there are different departments. So finance department, marketing department. I create a collection for finance and I create another collection for marketing. I put all the data, dashboards, queries related to finance department into their folder. That folder, I will provide access only to the finance team, and I will restrict other teams to access that collection, right? So that's how things work in Metabase and in any other tool also, right? So this is the thing. Okay, now in my personal collection, first what I will do, I will just create, let's say, a collection. So I'll name it as sample collection. We can also add description to it for to recall after some time that what purpose why I created this collection. So let's say to just demo the video, for example. Let's say you can give any other description, right? So it will be saved into the personal collection. Create. So you will see that in my personal collection now there is a sample collection. Inside my sample collection, I can use this option, create a new, or I can also do it from here, right? Anything will work. Let's say I want to create a SQL query. So I will create a SQL query, and here this is showing sample database. So whatever I will do will be done using sample database only. So as you remember, we saw a table called orders. So select star from orders. If I just write a simple SQL query, orders, right? So if I show you, if you want to execute this query, if you want to execute this code, we can just simply click on this option of run query, this play button. Once I do that, you will see that this is the data which is present in that table, which we already saw, right? Here we can also download this result, download full result. Once I click on it, we can have option or to download it in CSV, XLSX or JSON file. Let's say I want to download it in CSV file. So it will be downloaded into my local system in the downloads folder, like this. Okay. Then we can so this is also the first thing. After that, we can do a lot of options here, like for example, if we want to add some filter to this, right? So let's say variables to it, right? So what I can do is, can you see this option of X variables? I'll click on it, right? So these are the variables which we can use it. So I have to do it. This is used to create filters into the report, into the query. For example, where let's say I want only those data where actually I want to put a filter on let's say quantity. So I have to just use double curly brackets like this, quantity, right? So see, as soon as I return this, write this, there is an option of variables in the top right section, right? Now they are asking for the variable name. The variable name I have put quantity. What will be the variable type? So if I want to connect this variable to the dashboard, which we will create after this, we just use this field filter option, right? Now it is asking for the so it is showing me the database name and what table and which column is this filter should be connected, right? This filter should be connected. So this should be connected with my orders table and quantity column, right? So now whenever you see this filter is created here. If I put here let's say a quantity is equal to 5, add filter, and as soon as I click on the play button, you will see the data will be filtered where the quantity is 5. Can you see this? Right. So yeah, I hope this is you are able to understand, and this is simple. But if you have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section, right? So this is how we can filter the data here in the query. Let's say, right? So this is the thing, and equal to, or you can also put some conditions. For example, currently it is selected as equal to. So whenever the quantity is 5, equal to 5, that is shown. But if I want to see quantity not equal to 5, let's say not equal to 5, add filter and run query. So you will see we will get all the data except the quantity 5, like this. I hope that makes sense and you are able to understand the things. Not equal to, between two values, greater than equal to some value, less than equal to some value. You can put any other widget type, right? That was okay. Now here there's an option of filter widget label. So let's say I want to quantity filter. So you will see that it will be updated right here, right? So as soon as I done this, it is updated right here, quantity filter. So whatever name you want to put. Now let's say if I also want to put one more filter on another column called tax. So and whatever. So instead of and, you can use or, depending upon your SQL query requirement. Let's say I am using and here, and tax. Again in double curly brackets, I will put the column name, whatever in the table was. Play button, right? So it is saying cannot run the query because it is missing the required parameter tax, because we have not given any value for the other parameter. So first again we have to set that parameter, right? Just to revise this. So again in the variable section, once you scroll down, you will have the variable name called tax. Again, I will choose the option of field filter, and in which table we want to connect it, orders table, what column, tax column, okay, equal to, greater than, equal to, whatever you want. And that filter widget label, let's say tax filter I want. You can give any other name, tax filter, right? Now if I run it, it will again show the data like this. Previously it was showing error because we did not connect this filter to any column, any table. But now since we have connected this filter to orders table, tax column, now it is running fine, right? And we can also make this parameter required, because like for example, if the user does not give any value to the filter, the query will show an error. You can also make this parameter required, filter required, right? By always require a value by toggling this button, right? Now if I try to run it without giving any value to the tax filter, it will show me an error. Let's see like this, because you will need to pick a value for tax filter, because we have made this filter as always require a value. So I'll just remove it, and let's say I run it and I put some value to this tax filter, let's say 2.07 or let's say greater than or equal to 2. Okay, click on play button to see the output. Now I am getting all the records where the tax is greater than or equal to 2. So that's how filter works in SQL. I hope that's clear till here, and if you have any doubt, just post it in the comment section. If you want to see the corresponding SQL query, just click on the SQL snippets. Sorry, preview the query. I apologize. Preview the query. So this is the SQL query which Metabase is understanding on the backend. Right? This is the SQL query. You can also copy this and run the same query here. If I just select this, so again, if you have multiple queries inside in one text editor only, you can just select the query which you want to run. So for example, if I want to run this now, and also see when I preview the query and when I copied that, it is giving me with the filter, because currently this filter is applied and Metabase is understanding the query on basis of this filter. So that is why these filters are already applied, right? So that's the thing. So now, this is the showing me the output. So I hope that everything is fine. If I remove these filters and now if I preview the query, you will see that it will just give me a general query, right? Like this. So I hope that's clear. Okay, now preview the query is done, variables adding filters is done. So this was a major options right here, and so this is the thing. So now again, one more thing to remember, like since I have written multiple queries in the same text editor, and if I, without selecting anything, if I run it, it will give me an error, because SQL will always be confused with whether to run this or run this. So better is to select that and run that to get the desired output, right? Or put the other unrequired part in the comment section like this. Okay. So now if I want to see this whole output only, so I'll just click on this open editor option and all. So it is showing me the data in the tabular format. Now, okay, now to again see the query, I'll just do this. We can also create, as I said, the SQL it's a visualization tool. So we can also create visualization out of this, data, out of this query. Currently, the data is shown in the tabular format, but what we can do is we can create in this visualization option in the bottom left. See that? Visualization. Let's say you want to see the bar chart, line chart, area chart, or you can also see the complete number, actually depending upon the requirement, as we already do in Tableau, Power BI or any other visualization tool. So if I say I want to see the bar chart, I just clicked on the bar chart, right? So now the data, whatever data was represented in this tabular format is converted into bar chart. But since there were too many rows and too many columns, so it is messy. Let's improve it, right? So let's say on the x-axis, I want to see ID column, correct? Let's say on the x-axis, I want to see the ID column. It is actually hanging because it's having a lot of data. So for example, we can manipulate the x-axis from here, y-axis from here. On the y-axis, I will remove all other irrelevant columns. Let's say ID. I just want to see one or two columns. So I remove ID column by clicking on the cross button. User ID is removed, product ID is removed. Right now you see that changes here. It is getting better, right? I'll remove let's say subtotal also. I just want to see, let's say 2 columns. You can visualize more according to the need. And instead of user ID, because there might be too many users, I want to see according to the product ID. No, let's say ID. Okay, let's do one thing. Instead of seeing all the records, just limit it to the 10 records. So since it is Metabase's backend is MySQL, so I'm just using MySQL syntax, running it now, and we will see better. Yeah, now here we have got a better visualization. You see, yeah, right. So we have got at least a better visualization right now. On the x-axis we have the, yeah, so also we can changes the bar chart or improve it by clicking on the setting option in the bar chart. When we hover over it, we get this option. Yeah, right. So if you want to improve, add any other column, let's say total, you can just click on add another series and do that. So now on each ID from 1 to 10, because we have just limited the data to 10 records, we are seeing all these 3 columns. So that's wonderful, because you know, lots of steps are saved. Instead of using another visualization tool, downloading it, installing it, taking data into that, understanding it and everything, we are just writing a simple SQL query and visualizing the data. That's helpful, right? And after that, after data, you can have another option called display, right? Once you click on display, we can change the view of this according to your requirement. We can also see the value points, you know, on the data, show value on the data point. So on the top of the bar chart, you will see the values, right? All. Okay, let me show you the full screen. So again, I'll just click on this option like this. So by toggling this button, show values on data point, the values will be displayed on the bar chart when you see it on the full screen. Okay, let's go to the editor, and these are the options. After that, we have another option of axis, right? So what is the, if you want to see the X, show the x-axis or not, show label, what column name, let's say I give the column name at x-axis. What you given, you know, you will always give a meaningful name. So x-axis, let's say I give. So now it will be replaced with the x-axis. Similarly, you can manipulate the y-axis, scale what do you want, linear, power, logarithmic scale, histogram, depending upon your requirement again. And yeah, so these are the options by which you can manipulate. So I suggest you to give it a try after watching the tutorial. Play with it, explore many options, and you will definitely understand the things, right? So I hope now that's very, very clear that how do we write a SQL query and create visualizations in Metabase. Now let us save this report. So by clicking on this button, save. Again, I'm just going to give sample query, sample or maybe bar chart, right? Just give a meaningful name so that you and your manager or any other stakeholder can remember. Also give a meaningful description so that people who are visiting this dashboard query can understand what is done inside this, right? For now, I'm skipping it, but you can definitely should do that. So which collection should it go into, right? So it should be going into my personal collection, sample collection, right? So that's okay. Save. You can always change it. Which collection do you want to save it into it? Now, so this was a query. So for example, let's say when we work into Tableau, we have multiple sheets, and combining multiple sheets, we create a dashboard. Similarly, in Metabase, let's say we create multiple queries, and we can combine all those queries to put into a dashboard. So if you want to add this query into a dashboard, you can just click on yes, please. Otherwise, you can just skip it for now. We can always do that later also. Let's say I'm just doing it right now. Yes, please. So now I'll just go to my personal collection and I will create a dashboard, because I have not created any dashboard yet till now. But let's say if you have already created a dashboard and you want to add this into that dashboard, you just have to select that dashboard name here. But it is no dashboard name is shown here because I have not created any dashboard. So into my sample collection, I want to create a new dashboard. No dashboard name is shown here because I haven't created any dashboard till now. Create a new dashboard again. Let's say sample dashboard. Right, and again let's say this is a demo dashboard, right? Give a meaningful description. Which collection should it go into? Sample collection only. If you want any other collection, you want to you will go choose that. Okay, a sample collection, create. Now a dashboard will be created like this into my sample into my personal collection. This is the name, right? So we can always change this name. We can add more tabs, more sheets, like you know, more sheets. And I can always change this name, let's say sample data, to understand that, okay, this is the data represented in this particular sheet. I'll just expand it. So to make a better view, right, like this. Okay. So now If you want to add more questions to it, for example, let's say we just want to, we have already created multiple questions, SQL queries, and saved the queries. So the list will be shown here. And if you want to add those into different tabs or same tabs, you can just do that. For example, if I want to add the same question, let's say in tab 2 also. So I'll just click on this and it will be added in the tab 2. I'll just expand it a bit so that I can have a very clear view of this like this, right? So I hope you're able to understand. So here you will have a list right here if you have created multiple queries, and again you can just edit the name sample data 2, anything, right? Now, so this is the thing, close the sidebar. After that, you can add a filter. So if you remember that we have created two filters, tax and the other one in that quantity in the query. So we can connect that filter from that query into this dashboard here, add a filter. So the filters were I think number, right? So just click on number equal to. So you see when I click that, it is equal to filter and it is giving me a drop down. So if you have created the filter well, so it will be shown here. Let's say the first is quantity filter and the label I will give as quantity. Okay, done. Now a quantity filter is added here. After that I want to add, let's say another filter also. Again I will just go to the number. Why I'm going to number? Because the tax was in the numerical format. If your filter was something related to time, date, you will choose this option. If that was something called text or category, let's say varchar values or string values, name, city name or something like that, you will just choose text or category. Let's say if I choose text or category, you will see, let's say is, right? It is not showing me the drop down. Why? Because in my query there was no filter with this data type, text or category. I hope that's understood, right? So I'll just remove it, clicking on that filter name. Since I'm into the edit mode, I will have an option of remove. Okay, I'll just go to that, add a filter called number equal to second column tax filter. Give the meaningful name so that it is very clear. Always require a value. You can even do it here also if you want that filter to always have some value, but okay, I just do not want it because the user might not give any value always. It might not be needed always, right? So done. So these two filters are added, and now I'll just save this dashboard and let's see how to use it. Okay, so this is my data. Let's say I want to filter the data 5, tax filter is equal to 5. Now this is the data with when tax filter 5 is applied. You can again go to the query by clicking here also, sample query. It's okay to, okay, yeah. So this was a query. You can open the editor from here and again edit the query from here, right? So I hope that's clear till here. How do we create a SQL query? How do we create a dashboard? We can always pin the dashboard so that it should come on the top like this, right? So that was all about creating a query, creating a dashboard. You can again create similar thing using the question option. All other options are covered. Let's just quickly see the questions option. So let's say I click on the question. It is asking me to pick the data. I want to, which database you want to work in. So currently I only have sample databases. So it is only showing me sample database. If you have connected multiple databases, it will also show here. Sample database, let's say orders table. Preview the data, it will show you the order table like this, right? And if you want to join it with multiple table, you can join it like this. Let's say accounts table if I want to join it, and what column do you want to, orders table ID column and account table, let's say ID column. Although I know that this is not a relevant join as of now because these tables contain different data, but I'm showing, the point is to show how you join multiple tables in Metabase. If I preview it now, so if there are any, okay, there are few records where orders table ID column is matching with the accounts table ID column, and that is shown here, right? So by default, this is left outer join. You can change it to right join, inner join. If I change it to inner join, right? So refresh it. This is the data according to the inner join. So you can always change the join type right from here. And if you want multiple conditions for the joining, you can just click on plus icon and add more conditions to it, right? And you can always preview the data at every step, right? Like I'm doing this, right? Now, if you want to put some filter, for example, orders table. So there are two tables, orders and accounts. So in orders table, let's say if you want to put the filter tax, always greater than 5, add filter. Okay. if you want to put one more filter for, let's say, accounts table, accounts, and whatever you want, right? Yeah, so that's how we can add filters to this report. Again, we can preview the data. So we will always only see the data where the tax is greater than or equal to 5. So these are the only records. These are very less records right now, right? So this is how do we filter the data, summarize the data if you want to, get some aggregation, count some min, max or what. So you can always sum of rows, count of rows, do here, group the data by any column, visualize it. Now that visualization will basically be done in the tabular format. Again, you can follow the same process by clicking on this visualization if you want to convert this visualization into bar chart, line chart. So we have already seen how to do that previously. So you can follow the same process, same step here, right? You can again download this tabular data into CSV, XLSX or JSON format. So that's all about the questions again, right? So if you want to see, since you have not written any SQL query, but if you want to see the backend SQL, you can just create show editor and come to the view the SQL, right? So it will show you the background SQL query by which this is created, right? But the benefit is, even if you do not know SQL very much, you can always use this drag and drop kind of thing to create data, to fetch the data. So that's the thing. And after, is there any other option? Yeah, so this is the filter which is already applied into our query, and show editor, summarize everything. Okay, yeah, we can again save it. For example, let's say sample data 3. I save the query, right? So this is something query, right? And you can always give the meaningful description. And again, I'm just going to save it into my personal collection, sample collection. Quickly save it, and again it will ask you to add this to the dashboard. But let's say this time I skip it, not now. Okay, and I go to the sample collection, I go to the dashboard, I come to the edit dashboard option, right? And let's say if I want to add that question into this tab 3, what I will do is I will just come to the tab 3, click add questions. See, here we are getting that list. Till now I have created only 2 queries, so that's how. Now you can also see this icon, tabular icon, and this is a chart icon, right? So because this is a tabular data, this is a visualization data. So this when I click on it, this is the data which is shown, right? And if this query also have some filter, you can again add the same filters as we already did, right? So you already know the process. I hope that's clear. So this is the dashboard. How do we create the dashboard? At the end, I'll just show you two things. Let's say if you want this dashboard to be sent to your manager or respective stakeholders every day, every week, or every month, or any date periodically. So you can just subscribe it by clicking on the subscriptions icon, right? So that dashboard and this whole data will be sent to you, that email ID, whichever you put it here, right? So email it or send it to the Slack. So let's say I want this to send to the email. I will put the email ID here, right? And send hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. So you'll just schedule this so that you can, the respective stakeholder will receive the data periodically. Okay, so that's the thing. And that's how one of the very good benefits of using Metabase. And yeah, I think everything is sorted. Yeah, these are the majorly probable options. You can export this whole dashboard as a PDF or duplicate it easily, move it from one folder to another. And if that is not at all needed, you can archive this dashboard. It will be gone to the archive section. You can always retrieve it later on, right? Yeah, so I think that's all. And now we are sorted with everything basically needed to create a Metabase report. Again, I'll just summarize the video, what we saw. We saw what is Metabase initially, how to install it, how to create a SQL query, how to create a question without using the SQL query, how to create a dashboard, how to add filters to a report or to a dashboard, and then how to subscribe a dashboard to any email ID to send it to your manager. In fact, even not only dashboard, we can also subscribe this, reports, right? You have to explore that option, I think. Yeah. So, okay, that was all for the Metabase video, and I think that's helpful. And if you really get some value from this video, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. It will help the content to reach to more people, and it might be helpful for them. Yeah. So that's all. Subscribe the video. Subscribe the channel, like the video, comment your doubts, comment your feedback in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.